A lot of dark days, and a lot of people jumped ship when they rightfully should have. But Tom Newbar didn't. And this song I wanted to do because there were a lot of times, you know, even that thing. There was a thing on the speaker in there, like good friends are like stars that even though they're not always there,
You always see them.
you always see it. Yeah,
Isn't that a great
yeah,
fact?
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and I can't remember when we did our first show, and it was probably unbeknownst to me, but there was a time where, you know, it was a very dark period in my life, and I was going through, you know, the deconstruction area. But there was, so that talks about that. It talks about New York and 9/11, and then brings it back to Chicago. But there was a verse in there that was about, right when I got signed, we had a tour bus. I was on MTV, I was in Rolling Stone, and so we, you know, I had CAA, big artist agency, and I saw this itinerary, and I saw this place called Hal and Mal's, and you know, usually it was this theater, that theater, but then on Hal and Mal's, I was like, what the fuck is this place? Oh, sorry. So anyway, we go in, and they kind of, it's a club, and it had kind of like, it was like volleyball bleachers, you know, the aluminum kind of thing.
Right.
And so we go in, and we have stacks of amplifiers. We have a tour bus. We have the whole thing. We go in, and there's like 40 people there. And so, and I always remember Springsteen saying, if there's one person or 1,000 or 100,000, you got to, these are people's lives you're dealing with. You got to give them everything you got. So we do that. And then it was like one of those things in high school where it was almost like after the first song, somebody was like, okay, this sucks. We're going to leave after this song. So it was like the Dying Ditch. It was like, I'm going to just get there. You know, so slowly after each song, less and less people were there. Till finally, 6 songs in, there's one guy in the place. And again, we had the marshals. We had the whole thing. We're jumping around like monkeys because we're running. So anyway, after the show, you know, I had no ego at that point, so I just walked off the front of the stage. Went, you know, because we'd end with this. And there'd be one guy. You know, thanks, man. So anyway, so I jumped off the front of the stage. I walked back into the back, and I was like, man, I got to thank you for sticking around, man. You gave me a lot of energy, you know. And he's like, Michael, I'm the janitor. I
gotta clean up.
Locking up. Like, so the sound guy left. Everybody left.
Oh
Just
my
like,
God.
Here's the keys. We're out of here. So anyway,
That is a great story.
now I know a place. It's down in Texas. It's up near Fort Worth, called the Thorny Crown. Now I was there in the late 90s when I was roving town to town. Now I'm not sure if it's still there. Kinda doubt it would be. I woke up that morning with blood on my pillow. Sometimes you need the chains to get free. Now I know a place in Mississippi. It's called Hal and Mal's. I think it's Tupelo. There was a Jackson, or maybe Biloxi, or Tunica. Yeah, I don't know. All I remember is the feeling that I wouldn't make it out of there alive. Because sometimes you need the darkness in order to ever see the light. Yes, so many miles I've traveled, so many a dimly bar. 'Cause when things start to unravel, you're gonna find out who your friends really are. Now I know this place on the Upper West Side. It's in New York City, the Dublin House, its name. I met a girl there on 9/11. Her name was Jill, or Judy, or Jane. And she was younger, and she was wilder than me. She thought she was smarter than everyone over a pint. As she said around midnight, sometimes you gotta lose to know when you won. Now I don't know why they call it Stanley's. It's in Chicago, and Donnie is the man. When I was struggling and I had no money, Neubauer lended me his hand. 10 years later, I'm still working, providing for my daughter and wife. 'Cause sometimes you need the darkness in order to ever see the light. Yeah, so many miles I've traveled, so many a dim-lit bar. 'Cause when things start to unravel, you're gonna find out who your friends really are. Yes, sometimes you feed the darkness. Yes, sometimes you're gonna heed the darkness. Yes, sometimes you're gonna need the darkness in order to ever see the light.
That was outstanding. That was great. Here's to it.